Freaking Avengers. Mm.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Carl, I'm a recovery coach here at Calvary Recovery Center. Today is our all recovery meeting, and we're going to be talking about stages of change in an addiction recovery process. We have a special guest today. Her name is Jessica, and this article is by recovery.org, Drug Treatment Recovery Process. So we'll hop into it. Recovery is a process that continues after formal treatment ends. The recovery process from drug and alcohol addiction often involves a person making a significant change to improve their quality of life, including overall health and wellness. It can also help teach people to feel empowered in their lives and reach their full potential. If you or a loved one is starting the recovery journey, or you are curious about what it means, this article will help you understand what the stages of change in the recovery process are, different types of programs and treatment options you may encounter. So we'll start off. What is the drug and alcohol addiction recovery process? Good question, huh? Choosing to enter treatment to begin and any kind of substance abuse recovery program can be scary, but is an important step in changing one's life. The alcohol and drug addiction recovery process can look different for each person, and it's based on a level of care determined for a person, so treatment is often tailored to an individual. Program lengths vary. You may choose a 28 or 30-day or 60-day or 90-day inpatient drug rehab stay or an outpatient rehab program. And you might like to optional for specialized treatment options. Regardless of the type of treatment of recovery a person chooses, they will likely experience changes as they journey through their recovery. One model that helps to define these stages of change is the Trans-Theoretical Model of Behavior Change, which was developed to help people navigate through the process of recovery from addiction. While these addiction recovery stages are based in a theoretical, I can't even say that word, theoretical. Yep, that sounds about right.
Okay.
Model, they have become widely accepted as a means to help people recover and make behavior changes that may lead to a successful recovery.
Mm-hmm.
So it says, what is the drug and alcohol addiction recovery process? And that can change for everybody. We talk about pathways of recovery, and my pathway might not be your pathway, but even we're just talking about, like Mike talks about, like I don't care your pathway, I care about the destination. You know, where are we going to our recovery process destination? And that's important. And it talks about 28 days, 30 days, 60 days, even 90 days in an inpatient treatment facility. My last treatment facility was inpatient, and it was up to 30 days, and which is important. But like the aftercare was very important. That's where like the work starts to set in. Like you go into treatment, and we can do well and do good, but like when we get out, we have to continue. That's one thing I never did when I was in. Always wanted to treatment. I never continued on with my recovery. You know, I have to continue each day with the recovery pathway. You know, it's a journey, it's a process, but it has to be done. You know.
Yes.
Would you want to help me read the next one?
Sure. What are the six stages of change? The stages of change, or the trans-theoretical model of health behavior change, suggests that there are six distinct changes of addiction recovery that a person goes through when making a change in their behaviors. Research done in the development of this theory suggests that recruitment, retention, and progress is improved when individuals are matched with the specific stage of change they are in when making healthy behavior changes. While not specific to addiction recovery, this method may be used to help support the drug and alcohol recovery process. These stages are theoretical in nature and may not look the same for every person. The six stages of change,
That's okay.
6 stages of recovery from addiction are as follows.
And, see, we're just talking about that, in nature and may not look like the same for every person.
Mhm.
So we have to find out what works for us. You know, some of us go inpatient, some of us go outpatient, some of us do 12-step meetings. There's a lot of pathways of recovery, and I can't judge or knock somebody else's pathway. You know,
Mhm.
we might have opinions, we might, have judgment, but like in the long run, it's that person's pathway, and I have to respect that, and that's what it is.
Right, because I'm like, whatever works for you, work it.
Yep.
If it works for you, work it.
I agree. Cause I tell people like, I really don't care. I might have my own, like my beliefs, my own opinions, but I don't care. Whatever you do
Mhm.
to get better, do it. Do it. Because what is important is to stay alive and start changing and recovering. Because we can live a good life. It's all to us.
Mhm.
It really is. It's really up to. I mean, that people can help us and support us and stuff, but it's really up to you, what you want to do. Especially in drug and alcohol addiction.
And I like when we talk about, no matter what, whatever it is that you do, as long as it works. And the great thing is that like there are people in recovery are always available. If you have any questions, if you need support, we're always here for each other.
Yep.
And that's the beautiful part about this.
Yep.
We're all here for each other.
We're not. I should try to treat everybody equal. We're all here for the same reason.
Right.
A lot of us,
Yeah.
and we're help to help each other.
Right.
You know?
We definitely don't want the aftermath of using.
Yeah.
Actively using, we don't want the aftermath. So this is the road to recovery, and I really appreciate it.
Yeah, I really
Yeah.
appreciate it because I can't do it alone. Doing like these meetings and working in the field and other recovering addicts.
Mhm.
This is how I got clean and stay clean. Is through helping others and helping me. Very, very important.
Exactly.
We'll go to stage 1, pre-contemplation. During this stage, a person often isn't aware that their behavior is a problem. I've been there before. Or doesn't have a strong desire to make a change. If a person is in denial about their substance use or hasn't yet experienced negative consequences related to their addiction, they may not feel they need to change. A person in the pre-contemplation stage of change may not be very open to hearing about their behavior or advice to help them recover. So it's saying like if you don't think you got a problem, right? How are we going to think that we can change, right? If we don't have a problem, we're in denial. It's not me, it's you, or it's this and that. We're in that stage. There's no way we're getting better. You know what I mean?
Right, because we don't. If a person doesn't believe that their behavior and actions are problematic,
Yeah,
they will not see a need for change.
there you go.
Mhm.
Why should I change? Why are you telling me I don't have a problem? And you will place blame and denial stage and all these, I always say malarkey. It's a bunch of malarkey excuses and stuff like that. How can you tell somebody something when they know everything? I already knew. I thought I knew everything. It's not me. It's like everything around me.
Right.
And like it's hard to get through to somebody when they're in this stage, but we keep on trying. We keep on trying.
That's right.
So number 2, stage 2, concept. Contemplation.
Yes.
When a person reaches the contemplation stage of addiction recovery, they may begin to see that their addictive behaviors need to change. Perhaps they are noticing negative consequences related to their substance use. The type of change they are thinking about could be any number of things, from complete abstinence to simply cutting back their use, while a person in this stage of change may not be completely ready to stop substance abuse. They may be more open to hear suggestions about what recovery looks like. It's also possible that a person could remain in the contemplation stage for a long time as they decide what to do. And like a lot of us, or it could be that like the consequences is not greater enough. You know, or social users, or we do this, we just drink, but we don't do this. I'm still, you want to say, a functioning drunk or whatever. All these things like, and the consequences not got greater enough until they, one thing, start losing a job, start getting arrested, start, the relationships are going, a lot of things that don't become physically dependent on it. That's when you're like, oh man, and when I don't have the drugs or alcohol and you're physically dependent on it, then things have the consequences of our use. And so they start to add up.
Mhm.
And it's like, oh man, there's something bigger and greater than what's going on. I gotta take a look at this, and hopefully I don't lose my life in the process.
Right.
I hope it's not too late to, address what's really going on.
So one may feel that until they exhaust all their efforts of coming up with a way to escape the consequences, right?
Yep.
They will continue until they figure out that there is no escape. There is no escape. And that the bottom line is surrender.
Yep.
Surrender and try something different.
You have to surrender and accept, like.
And it's unfortunate that it would take people to hit their bottom.
I know.
To hit the bottom, it's sad.
And everybody's bottom is different.
And
it's
everybody's bottom is different.
It's tough when, like, I see, because I've come from a lot of drug and alcohol abuse, right? And long years and years, and the ways and means to get more and lime, coming from that to where I'm at today, I wish I could just give it to everybody. It's just sometimes you have to let them go through their process, and it's hard. It's hard watching, because I know they can do it. If I can get clean and stay clean, you sure could stay clean and stay clean. It's like, it's tough to watch some people like that, like just give it up, because I tried everything.
Right.
Nothing never worked but being what I'm doing today,
And again, and unless one has exhausted all their efforts of continuing to
Yep.
try to continue to use without consequences, they hit bottom.
This
I
last
hit
bottom for
You
me,
hit bottom.
like I said, everybody's bottom's different.
Right.
And this time, last time I got clean, I had lower bottoms than this last time, right? But God did
Let me
something
guess.
to me.
Your bottom had a basement.
Oh, it had a basement,
Yeah.
and it was
You
concrete. It had me hard.
hit the concrete this time.
I was sick because I was physically dependent on it, right? And I got what I wanted and used, and I was still sick. The drugs and the alcohol stopped working. They stopped working for a long time, but that day, it showed up, and God told me, He's like, there's nothing left. This is it. This is where the road meets the pavement, or whatever that saying is, but like it's
The rubber hit the road.
rubber hit the road. See, you're picking up what I'm putting down.
Yes, yes. And that's how this works.
Yeah. Would you like to read the next one?
Sure.
Thank you.
Stage 3, preparation. After a person realizes they want to make a change, they typically start to put a plan into action based on what they noticed during the contemplation stage of change. Some of the changes a person may plan for in relation to their recovery from substance misuse, could be finding a treatment facility. And this is preparation.
Yes.
Finding a treatment facility, doing research on how to make a change or what type of changes they may want to make, asking for support from loved ones, professionals, or support groups. Notice what their triggers are and begin to remove them.
That's some good stuff there. Like
This is awesome.
that it is, because these are the stages of, and that's like that for everybody. We can gauge what stage people are in by talking with individuals and seeing what stages they're at. So I know what to say. Well, not what to say, but like how to navigate, to try to help somebody. If somebody's saying, I'm not, nope, I don't have a problem, I don't want to do this, it's usually we're at first stage, so we see these stages and we try to help people out the best we can,
So like the exhausted efforts in contemplation brings them to preparation. So, okay, all right.
So it's just stages. We're getting these stages mean we're getting somewhere.
Exactly.
We're getting better. We're getting somewhere.
We're coming to the realization that there's something that has to be worked on.
Yep. And they're finding treatment facilities. They're doing their research. Like they know they got a problem, right? And they're getting to that stage of looking for treatment, or step groups, or getting support from loved ones. And if you think about it, if you're doing some of these things, finding treatment facilities, doing research, asking for support, notice the triggers and stuff like that, you're on your way. You're
Yes.
definitely building a foundation, and you're having coping skills, and you're having support. And sometimes we need professional help, therapy, counseling. Getting God of understanding, going to church. If we're going to meetings, like we're definitely doing something. And these are the things we have to do to continue to recover.
Right. Because like it talks about like within the same stage preparation. And it talks about as a person plans for changes, they may look for alcohol and drug rehab programs and recovery options. If you are inpatient, outpatient programs.
Yep.
And dual diagnosed programs. So some people suffer with mental health underlying issues. We're going to call it underlying issues because when you say, it seems like to me, when you say mental health, mental anything, people get on the defense.
So you working with something, Jessica. I can tell you that. Yeah, because we have to be careful what we say and how we say things.
Exactly.
And that stigma of saying certain things can push people away.
Right. And make them want to cover up what the underlying issue is.
Yeah.
So we're going to say the underlying issues are under the drug and alcohol use.
How we word it and what we say, man, it means big things. And co-occurring is prevalent. Usually, that alcohol and drug use is usually co-occurring with mental illness, or wherever that may be.
Dual
diagnosis. Yep.
Yeah.
And that's got to be addressed. They both got to be worked on. They have to be worked on, because usually one overweighs the other, then you're stuck in a sticky situation. But if medications are needed, listen, you can't be shameful or embarrassed or feel like you're being judged. That's a normal emotions and feelings.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's like, to me, it makes more sense to go to a professional and get professional help than me on my own trying to go out in the street to gather some chemicals.
Becoming yourself doctor, your own doctor, and self-medicate. And we've done that.
Myself.
I've done that.
It makes no sense.
I'll diagnose myself. I'm my own doctor. I'm giving my own medication. How crazy is that?
Like as if we know something. We know something, right? We went to school. We know what this does, that does.
We know everything.
We want to be our own scientists. Yes, that's what we call insane.
And I'll read some. As a person plans for change, they may look for alcohol and drug rehab programs and recovery options. A few types of treatment for people with substance use disorders include inpatient. Well, we're just touching on that, right? This type of treatment involves living at the facility where you're receiving treatment. Inpatient drug and alcohol rehab allows you to focus on your recovery without distraction. Very important. And removes you from environments that may have been contributing to your drug use. Check that out.
Absolutely.
You have to get away. You have to get away. You can't. I try to do my own thing to detox or get off drugs and alcohol, and I always used. I had to go inpatient. Get away from distractions it talks about. Focus on my recovery. Basically, people, places, and things. Inpatient. If that's treatment, and that's what a lot of times we need. I mean, a lot of times.
Right, because certain thinking comes along with being having a substance use disorder.
Yeah.
Right. It's like it's in the thinking. It's like the thinking will tell you it was you will start blaming people and the officer that stopped you because you were speeding and now you don't have a license because you never took the time out to go get it. And everyone is a problem but oneself.
That's that denial.
So that's why the inpatient is so effective. Isolating the individual who's suffering with the active addiction uses. Isolate the thinking. We want to remove all of your excuses, all of the rationalizations you may have.
You stole my saying. When I give you recovery, right, it eliminates all excuses.
Exactly.
I try to eliminate all excuses when, I can't, it was me. When you, like you said, it's a good point, you isolate yourself from like all the distractions and stuff like that, you're breaking it down to like, hopefully the individual thinks like, oh man, time to think about what's going on and figuring out why I'm doing the things I'm doing. And I'm the problem. I got to stop,
Because a lot of times the individual think the distractions are you.
Yeah. We tell ourselves some things.
Distractions are going in our heads and finding ways to continue to not be accountable.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not taking accountable for anything.
It's time to be accountable. It's time to own up.
And that's what the recovery process talks about and helps you with is being accountable for my actions and owning up to what I've done and what I do today and be open and honest. It's easier to, we don't think it's easier to be open and honest and own up to our mistakes, right? And to run from them. Because when we run from them, for addicts and alcoholics that we use over that kind of stuff, we self-medicate and we don't want to address what's really going on. We want to run.
Well, the disorder itself allows the addictive thinking to think otherwise.
Good
That's
point.
why it's necessary to be alone, be isolated in a treatment facility where you can clinically start taking a look at how you are really thinking. Because it's going to be you, it's going to be me, it's going to be her, it's going to be him, who's going to affect their own life. So why not give this a shot?
You got
It just makes all the more sense.
You got to give yourself a break and give yourself a chance.
Really. I mean, you have everything to do. You already know what's on the other side.
Yeah, we already been doing that.
We did that.
But we're sometimes feared up from the unknown, and it is scary. Wow. Fear of the unknown, fear of change, who I'm going to become without drugs and alcohol is big, and it can be fearful. But like, how do I know that's it if I don't try?
Right.
If I don't try, you're never going to know.
That's right.
So we'll go on to outpatient. Outpatient, this type of treatment often includes regularly scheduled addiction counseling appointments a few times a week. Other types of outpatient treatment include intensive outpatient treatment and partial hospitalization. These programs involve visiting a treatment center or hospital for their formal addiction treatment or when we needed access to medical resources or psychotic, how do you say it? I can say it in my head, but I can't say that.
Psychiatric.
Yep. psychiatric
medical
care.
resources for.
I got some tongue twisters, man. It
psychiatric-
gets.
Yeah, it can be challenging, really.
But outpatient is very important as well when you get out of inpatient treatment. So it makes you accountable, right? If you go a few times a week, a lot of times, so you're not having idle time. You know, time is real big if you're not working or anything like that when you get out of treatment. So you continue on your recovery when you get out of inpatient. And outpatient is very helpful. Dual diagnosis, these programs use an integrated treatment approach to help people who are struggling both with substance use disorder and mental or behavioral health issues. So there you go about the dual diagnosis. It's I can't stress it enough how very important it is to treat both. You know, wherever that looks like for you, because like we talk about, everything is not for everybody, you know, but we can't be ashamed, we can't be embarrassed, can't be fearful or judgmental, right? We have to find out what works for us.
Exactly.
We'll go to 12-step alcohol and drug recovery programs.
All right.
When exploring your treatment options, you are likely to come across the concept of 12-step recovery programs. These programs involve following a set of addiction recovery steps that help people in their daily lives. Many types of alcohol and drug recovery programs, including outpatient, inpatient, and dual diagnosis, use the 12-step model as an integral part of their treatment approach. In fact, about 23% of their drug and alcohol rehabs in a 2016 survey by the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administrative used 12-step meetings as they introduced patients to the psychology philosophy of these programs. 12-step programs help people who are struggling with addiction. These support groups and their recovery steps provide social support to people when they need it. This support can help people stay off drugs and alcohol and make their other positive changes in their lives. According to the National Institute of Drug Abuse, some of the most popular groups that offer a 12-step approach to drug and alcohol addiction recovery include Alcoholics Anonymous, AA. Its steps, traditions, and promises can be found in the big book, The Central Text of Organization. Narcotics Anonymous, Cocaine Anonymous. So these are some of the 12-step programs that we can go to recover. I go to NA meetings. I have an NA sponsor. I do step works. We practice principles, and we go to traditions and stuff like that. So it's something I do for my recovery process. And I do go to church. And on some kind of medications for my blood pressures and anxiety, stuff like that. So I have things that I do for my recovery, and it's finding out what them things work for you, for sure.
Absolutely. The 12-step model is an integral part of the treatment approach.
Yeah.
And it is a self-help program. Okay. Treatment is inpatient, outpatient, and working with the dual diagnosed medical staff, client, etc., all inclusive.
Yes.
Okay. But it's very crucial that the individual move on in their growth and development into the self-help 12-step program, because and I really love this because it helped me to learn how to live on a daily, everyday basis as I live that day.
Yep.
And it is a phenomenal integral part.
It is, and I think how the treatment is broke down to like inpatient is just my observations and opinions is like tacking to the physical, right? Because we got drugs and alcohol in our system, and, you know, we detox and we don't feel good and stuff like that. So the inpatient is to get that addressed first, get the drugs and alcohol out of you, right? And we talk about a little bit of recovery and have meetings in there, but we have to address the physical, get the drugs and alcohol out of us.
So you're talking about the detox treatment.
Yep. If you're dependent on drugs and alcohol, that's gotta be first.
Yes.
That's just my opinion. That's what's gotta be first. There's like levels to everything, you know, and then you address it. You go to outpatient. You're talking more about recovery, you know, early stages of recovery and stuff like that. And then you know, just like the 6 stages of recovery and the 6 stages that we're talking about, you know, there's definitely levels to everything. And but yeah, 12-step programs continues to live on a daily basis, like you had said. And you know, because every day is a new day, right? But we get a daily reprieve. I heard, you know, we wake up one day, it's something different.
Yep.
Next day, you know. So, and the 12-step program can help you with that on a daily basis.
Because through the 12-step program, you learn to get a support network. People that you can call on every day, any day, from work, from school, from
In the
college,
middle of the night.
we're in the middle of the night.
Yep.
And if you have a question or you're suffering with an issue, you can always have someone on hand to run it by, and you guys can table it and you can take it apart and come up with something that works. 2 heads are always better than 1.
Especially mine, just mine alone.
Especially mine.
Yeah, I need help on a daily basis. If I didn't have a program, I would not. I guarantee I would not. If I didn't have a program and God in my life, I would not be here. I would not. I would.
And intelligence is not going to cut this disorder.
Intelligence can kill you.
sufficient.
We can overthink
Right.
things and think we're the smartest one in the
Right.
book, and we're in the back burner looking messed up.
Mhm.
You know, that
We
pride,
think
that ego.
ourselves- We think ourselves right
Yeah.
back out the door.
We overthink things.
Back to square one.
We'll leave it right there, but like that's
Yes.
12-step alcohol and drug recovery programs is very, very important. And this don't have to be your pathway. Anything that gets you a day clean and continue to change and grow and get better, go for it.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
But
So
just also know if this you find this way beneficial, we as recovering people from this disorder, there you will always find recovering people from this disorder
all over the
that
world.
is capable of helping you through any and everything.
And don't even have to know you.
And don't have to know you.
And it's free.
And it's free. Oh my.
Thank you, Jessica. It was a good meeting. You have to come here more often, man. I don't like doing meetings alone, so you got to come in here more often.
I do intend to.
I don't want to talk. I have to
Absolutely.
talk to Mike and tell you. We have to get you.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Thank you. That the stages of change in addiction and recovery process. My name's Carl. I'm a recovery coach here at our Recovery Center. Until next time, we'll see you later.
Enjoy your day.
Enjoy your day. Man, that's a good meeting.
Yes.